Betty Rock, does the name Lonnie Frisbee mean anything to you?
Not really.
Well, it didn't to me either until I saw the new Erwin Brothers film, Jesus Revolution. It's that one that's like faith-based, and it's not the usual like faith-based film. Yes, it's a movie that tells the faith story of Pastor Greg Laurie after meeting this hippie preacher named Lonnie Frisbee. And what's cool is it's kind of all true. It was set in the 60s and 70s during the Jesus movement. And I'm telling you, Rock, you would absolutely love the soundtrack. It's really good. Your dad raised you on that stuff.
What did you like about the movie?
I like that the movie's about a guy searching for identity and inclusion and truth. And even though it's set in the 70s, man, it's exactly what people are looking for today. And the answer is Jesus. It's the same then as it is now. And I also really like that it didn't paint a perfect picture of the church either.
Really?
Yeah, like it showed men's egos kind of getting in the way of God, and it showed the intolerance of people inside of faith. But it also showed that despite that, if we just get out of the way, revival is possible.
So what did you not like about the movie?
That I wasn't in it. Like that bothered me a little bit. I got to tell you, the Irwins, they cast Kelsey Grammer, and he's great. They got Jesus from The Chosen. I mean, that's a great get, but they could have had me for a whole lot less. But in the end, man, I really thought it was a great movie.
If you want to check it out and hopefully enjoy it as much as Wally did, it's in theaters right now.
Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the things we did not get to during the course of the show today, and maybe someday we might even be able to call it the award-winning Aftercast.
Hey.
We got all the stuff turned in for an award inside of our industry for like Christian podcasts, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I would like to apologize because I'm sure some of you potties are wondering, well, what happened? I thought we were going to have a podcast and an Aftercast on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened.
Thank you for apologizing.
I want to apologize on
right
the behalf of Wally.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Wally got sick, okay?
Yeah.
When we got back from
blaming you.
Africa.
Still my fault.
He gave it to me.
But okay, let me just stop you there for a second because, like, my wife sat in between us on all the flights.
Mm-hmm.
I kissed my wife, you know, and you and I do not do that.
Thank God.
So, yes, for both. And you still somehow got sick, and she did not. Like, how is that possible?
I don't know, but it is your fault because
Okay.
it goes. The symptoms are exactly what you
Yeah,
had.
I know you had what I had.
Yeah.
However, we both got it. Not important.
It was to you.
That's
So anyways,
probably me.
my throat started feeling scratchy. I would say maybe Tuesday, maybe before that.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely Sunday. It was
There's an
Sunday going into
incubation
Monday.
period.
Anyways, and I was like, well, I'll power through. And I did. Monday and Tuesday I powered through.
Yeah, you did.
But already I was like, I don't feel right. And Wally was like, this is all what I experienced when I got sick.
Textbook.
So he was like, if you need to take off Thursday, do it so you can be back for Friday because Gavin's already got the day off.
And it's like doing the show with two people, it's already difficult enough.
But doable.
Doing it with one is just, it's not really that doable.
Right. So anyway, I took Thursday off to get better for Friday. But Thursday, I just want to say that my hand graced the hem of Jesus's robe because I saw the pearly gates. Like death was coming for me.
I believe it. I felt so bad a couple of those days when I was here at work.
It wasn't.
And
See, that's how people get this
No.
because you come to work sick.
but what I told you in that though, like, because I got sick on the trip and I came home and I had Friday off from our travel and
Yeah.
then I had the weekend to get better.
Yeah.
And that's why when you were getting what I had and I knew the steps, I was like, look, take today, get better. And then when you're like, I'm not better, I'm like, oh yeah, she's on the second bad day
Yeah.
of this. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Take it off.
Like I couldn't even lift my head.
You
It
can't
was just
swallow.
It was terrible. And you're waking up and you can't breathe because there's just
Yes.
mucus everywhere.
Yeah.
So anyways, I have gotten, I'd say, 65% of that out of the way.
You seem way better than that even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, like you don't seem like you're affected as much today.
I definitely feel a lot better. I would say Thursday or Friday, I could not have done the show. Even if you wanted me to show up so you didn't have to do the show alone,
Yeah.
you would have wanted me to laugh at things, and I could not even laugh. Or if I did laugh, I'd be like,
Yeah. I did 1 hour of the show live. Gavin put in a best of, and I did 1 hour of the show live because we had already had a Flashback Friday planned, so I want to make sure we did that. And then Pastor Chad was already set up to come in, and so that meant we just had to talk and then kind of take calls randomly and not really screen them, just here we go. And so that was a thing. And then I train wrecked the beginning of that hour because I had told Gavin to leave a spot blank and I would do like news or whatever, and I forgot that. And so that started a trickle down effect.
No.
And so 100% not Gavin's fault. He did what he was told to do, and I messed up. And so I was so mad that first of the hour, but it ended up okay.
Yeah.
Like Ruth, who works here, like didn't even know. Like she came in and she's like,
that's good.
"Oh, I didn't even know. No one was
She's
here."
She called you
Sweet.
brave for doing it on your own.
She said you're a big boy
I
because
am
you
a big
came
boy.
in on your own. And I think I was trying to think to myself as I was laying in bed with gracing the hem that's the first time
Yeah.
I believe that has ever happened.
Maybe one other time, and I think I just didn't work that day either. Like I think
Where the people
where
on
no
the
one
show
was here, yeah.
got sick and Wally was the only one here.
Yeah.
And so
because I didn't want to come in and just like segue songs because we have like so much best of material that's still good, you know, and like I didn't want to just do that. Or like I hear so many people doing their solo shows and everything is like a life lesson, and it's so easy to fall into that category, like where you're not sure how to end it, so you just give everybody advice, and I don't want to do that. It's just not fun to me. And so I was like, okay, well, like it's better just. And Betty was like, just have Gavin put in a best of show, and you were right, that was the right thing to do.
yeah. But now we're all back together.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like you do not sound sick. Like
Thank
from
you.
like if you listen to the podcast today, you won't even know that Betty was like sick because you were not off today at all.
Thank you.
You sounded great. So it's good to have you guys both back. Gavin, was your trip good and stuff to Louisiana? What part of Louisiana again?
It's called Bossier City.
Bossier
Shreveport.
City.
I told my wife that it was not Baton Rouge, but it began with a B.
Man,
and so I knew that much.
sounds country. Bossier
It does.
City.
Yeah.
It's basically like East Texas because it's
like it.
It's like 20 minutes from the border to Texas, but
okay.
it was a great weekend with a lot of like nephews and nieces and like third cousins running around.
Nice.
And so we
a
were
lot.
handling those kids, which was like two-way street of like, oh, like I can't wait to have kids, and then afterwards you're like, oh, well, like could I be more patient on getting to this whole kids thing? But
sure.
they were precious. They were fun. We had my nephew had a Spider-Man birthday party.
Nice.
So I wore a Spider-Man shirt for that.
Oh.
Was it tight?
It was tighter than it should have been after the third cupcake. So, but it was fun.
You did better than me. I ended up wearing a woman's jacket to church again.
Was that the one that you should have returned?
No,
like
I
4
returned
years
that
ago?
one. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So this is the second time it's happened. One, I bought a woman's jacket that was in the men's section, and it looked fabulous on me. I looked like Joel from For King and Country because these are the kind of coats he wears. And then I found out it was a woman's jacket, so I returned it. And then I walked into church the other day, and my jacket, I zipped it up because it was cold. I'm like, oh my gosh, how fat am I? Like this thing is so tight on me, and it's not good. And the arms, oh my goodness, I'm freaking out. And I unzip it, and then I put my hands in the pocket, and there's like lip balm and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I just have gloves in my. I was wearing my wife's jacket apparently, so I grabbed the wrong one. And then my wife takes a
does this
picture at
happen?
church and sent it to you, Rock.
Yes. And I was like thinking to myself, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
You
Pretty
know?
like monotone color.
Yeah, it's
that-
just a black jacket. It looks exactly like mine, except it's just slimmer.
So does that mean she has a guy's jacket
No,
or you have a women's
hers is
jacket?
cut in, and like so. Then Rhonda, who is a friend of ours that we go out to lunch with every day, every Sunday with church, she's like, "Oh, I did think your jacket was cut a little tight." And
Well, and also too,
slim
you
line.
had to make it from the parking lot to the building.
Yeah, I
So
did.
What?
I didn't zip it up there. Yeah.
Okay.
So there it was open. So it's a normal black jacket, and it's the same kind of puffer jacket like I have too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
It's not like I wore her romper. You know, like that would be a problem.
Do you remember the guy we work with, Steve? He once said that
Yes!
he accidentally wore his wife's jeans.
Yes.
Now that is a whole nother level.
brave admission.
Yeah. I don't
There
know
is-
if she would want him to admit that.
There was a time that Betty Rock, somebody gave her some jeans, some skinny jeans, and I put them on, and I think you gave them away after that. I don't
I
think
did.
you kept them.
I couldn't bear to put them on
They
because
fit
they
me.
were so skin tight
Yeah.
on you. Like one wrong move, and
Yeah.
you were gonna bust at the seams.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
I rocked them though.
No, you really didn't.
Oh, I did.
No,
Let's see.
trust me.
There was a family that came by while you guys weren't here, and actually while I wasn't here, I'd already left for the day. It says, hey, Wally, my family came by the station to say hi. Sincere thanks for all you guys do over the years. You are one of the few people that I truly hope never gets old. Your voice, humor, and perspective is shared for me and my kids when they grow up. I continue to pray for you guys and will keep listening and rooting for you and the gang. P.S. Thanks for sending my church those Bibles years ago. The impact goes farther than you'll ever know. I hope God shows you a reel of it one day in heaven. That's really cool because I need that to balance out all the other garbage he's going to show me about my life and what I did. That's the weird thing when you think about heaven and stuff, and you're supposed to have that moment of accountability, and I'm not sure how this all works. I've heard people talk about God's going to show you like the missed opportunities and the things you could have done right, and it seems like that's a real bummer way to go into eternity. Like, remember eternity's like, oh, everything's going to be great and happy, and you're going to love and like float on clouds and pet lions, but it's like, oh yeah, before you do that, I want to show you what a jerk you were. Like, it seems weird.
Is our God a guilt tripper?
Yeah, I don't
know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do people actually have like a biblical backing of that idea, or is that just something that some
theoretically that separate the sheep
with?
from the goats? Like you're supposed to stand in judgment before God.
I mean, it is Judgment Day, but then again, are we being judged? Because also in the Bible it says that when we accept Christ, our sins are covered. Right. And he clothes us with his righteousness. So when he looks at us, he sees Jesus.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems weird, too. Like, say he's showing you, if you had really, I was prompting you to lead this person to Jesus and you chose to go silent and, oh, yeah, by the way, they're going to hell. Like, that would be like, oh, wow, I get it. That's horrible.
Well, and if it's us going down the route of things that we missed, do we know if we're going to heaven as he's going through that, or are you going through all of that waiting to find out your verdict?
I don't
and also I feel like in heaven, like we're not meant to, it doesn't feel like we're meant to learn from things anymore.
Right, like we're done with that. Like, okay, this is where you, well done, my good and faithful servant, step into eternity today kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff about heaven that I'm not sure makes total sense to me. There's a lot of the writings of it feel very metaphorical, like, and the whole idea of getting all these rewards in heaven and like postponing the treats and the goodness and like you live a life of, in essence, poverty here, or you live a life of selflessness here just so you can get a bigger mansion in heaven. Seems like I think it was John that wrote Revelation, was trying to explain and convey something that's really hard to understand or convey. And that they also, too, they wanted people at that time to live out their faith and stuff. And so what was a big deal to people back then? Mansions, gold, robes, all this stuff, all these metaphors, and they like, okay, you'll be that in heaven if you do this and you be selfless here, then you'll be elevated in heaven. Like, it seems like a motivator that people would kind of come up with, more so than what heaven's going to actually be. I'm fascinated. I don't like to get into like giant debates about this stuff with people because people get really bent about it and like, no, this is what's going to happen. I chalk this up to one of those things that I don't think we truly know or understand the way that it's going to go down.
I also feel like it doesn't have any bearing on like what's going on down here. I think it's like you have salvation or you don't. It's not necessarily about the the stuff that you're going to get in heaven, because I feel like whatever we want heaven to look like, it's probably not going to look like what we want it to look like, because otherwise, that's not our design, it's his design.
Well, think about it too. If everybody knows that there's a reward system in heaven and you've got this giant mansion, but think about it too. Then in heaven for eternity, oh, this person was better than I was in a past life. And it's almost like I think that heaven is that great equalizer again, that all things are equal, and your past is done. This is the new now, And I'm curious about free will though. Like, will there still be free will when Jesus comes back and there's heaven? Because there was free will the first time and the angels fell, and there was free will and Adam and Eve messed up. If there's free will in heaven a second time, ding ding ding, who's going to mess it up? Probably me, and I'm going to probably mess it up for everybody again. So I'm really hoping that there's not free will. I really hope not,
but
man.
Not a thing we'll not a thing I don't think we'll figure out until we, hopefully all three of us are up there.
Let me just apologize in advance if I ruin it for everybody.
Oh my gosh, stop.
I know, I'm just saying it could happen, So anyway, but it was nice of this family to come by. That's awesome. All right, so here's some stuff going on in the world today. TikTok is getting a little closer to maybe being banned.
No.
I know, right, Rob?
What will we do with our time?
I was going back looking for...
Let me tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
I told Wally this. Over my sick time.
Oh, you sent me the screenshot.
I spent at least a good solid 4 hours on TikTok.
Like a day or
No. Just in the span of the 4 days.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's very low for what I thought it was going to be. But 4 hours of my life I'll never get back. But I laughed so hard in those 4 hours.
It's glorious.
I love them.
And so with that might be coming to an end because
of China?
Yeah, it's because of the whole China thing, and the government is getting more serious about it. There's 100 million users of that app in the U.S.
And don't you know that those people who have found an identity or
a career,
a career or a group of people that they feel like they belong to on TikTok, and they just lose it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there'll have to be something else to replace it. What the government is wanting China to do is to sell off its interest in it. Because we can't trust China. They've proven themselves untrustworthy.
Yeah,
and they say that they are collecting data and information on American citizens. Well, what's interesting, though, is that they say that the user data could fall into the possession of the Chinese government, and the app could ultimately be weaponized by China to spread misinformation. So I'm like, how are you weaponizing this app? Oh, misinformation.
That makes sense.
Okay. Well, and honestly, you want to mess with anybody anymore, you don't have to go bomb their buildings anymore. Like, take out their internet, take out their phones, take out their electronic banking. You will cripple countries. And so it's like, I get that. Like, I understand the Biden administration is stiffing its posture towards TikTok, and it's a bipartisan bill that would empower the government to ban apps like TikTok, which is interesting too, because you're like, oh, then the government's banning apps that they don't like, but this one has a little bit more meat to it, where it's the implications of the Chinese government being involved.
And what are you going to do when you can't keep up with James Chapesky?
Hello, TikTok. James Chapesky here from J Music Records. My new video is coming out. It's The Darkness, and it's the story of how the fairy in the night came to be.
There's this guy on TikTok. His name is James
Chapesky. He's from Canada. My other favorite Canadian.
And he has a music career.
Does he?
Not really. He does on TikTok, and he gets a lot of followers too.
But when you read the comments, everyone's like, "Is this guy serious?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "How old is this guy?
Bless
He's either 20 or 50."
Did you find out that he was like 21?
Yeah, you can't tell how old he is. Really, you're like, "This guy is he an old soul?"
Wally loves him.
Yeah, but
he loves him.
Here's what I love about it.
Every theme of every song is something to do with fairies.
And
darkness.
Oh yeah, and like one of my favorite ones is like he has a rock edge for one of them, and he's like, "Don't test me, girl. I'm all ready to soar." Like, it's so bad it's good. Like, but here's what I love about it. Okay, here's a guy just making music, and honestly, like, the songs are horrible, and I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm not deaf. They're horrible. But there's something about it that's he's unashamedly him, and he doesn't see it. He doesn't care what anyone thinks about it. He's just gonna be him, and he's got this nerdy girlfriend, or not. Well, he wants her to be his girlfriend, but I don't think that's happening. But like, I've read this whole backstory
you
to them.
You really have. And also, too, anytime a new video of his comes on, Wally's reaction is like a kid at Christmas time.
Makes me happy. Oh, and speaking of Christmas, his Christmas song is horrible. Worst Christmas song ever, but man, I love it. So I'm pulling for that kid. You know, like I want things to happen for him. Like he'll do he's like, and it's back now. I will do pre-recorded messages for you if you have a birthday or you want something like.
And here's the thing too, he also, like, if he had a GoFundMe page and he was like, I need your help with funding my next album.
Done.
But there was a child that had lost their home to a house fire.
Sad.
How much would be like too much to give
Would you not just divide, let's say $1,000? You could give a $500 to James and $500 to this kid? Or
you know what? You know what that kid needs? That kid needs hope. He doesn't need $500. He needs hope in the form of a James Chapesky song.
You think a kid's going to get to some point in his life like, I was saved by the darkness.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Yes. I get so geeked about dumb things, and Betty loves to make fun of me. Like, I loved watching Fly with Kay, who just she said the same thing every time.
What's funny?
I know.
I really support the James Chapesky more than more than I did the K.
You were not a K fan.
Her voice she's everything you say you hate.
I know.
Everything.
That's it. Hate. And I should hate James Chapesky. I know.
Oopsies.
We're just gonna...
I just plowed into a building. Oopsies.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, there's certain things. I'm a hypocrite. I understand that. There are things that I make fun of, or things that I know I should hate that I absolutely love. There's country music that I know is pandering and I should hate it, but then like, I kind of dig it.
I heard a song the other day on a commercial. I forget what it was for. Maybe like Ford or GMC or whatever. But it was a girl country singer, and she was singing a song called "I Have a Heart Like a Truck."
Oh yeah, I just heard that the other day too. I got a heart like a truck.
The most ridiculous idea.
Until you listen to it, it's been drugged through the mud. See, yeah, you haven't heard the whole thing.
The thing is like I feel like country music. You always have the top 5 topics: your dog, your mama,
your
jail. Alcohol.
Okay.
Sometimes your
abuse.
Truck. Yeah. Cheating.
Okay. Well,
cheating.
There's one that I literally heard today. I've never heard it before. I heard it on the way in today. It was Wait in the Truck. Okay. So this guy meets this girl. Apparently she's been abused by somebody. I don't know by who. So she has some marks on her. Oh. And he goes to, and I'm not making this up. He's like, when I kicked the door of the double wide open.
No, he does
I'm not making it up. I swear to you by all that's holy. He talks about going to the door of a double wide and kicking it open.
That's ridiculous.
And as the guy reaches for the 12 on the floor, the 12 gauge, he talks about pummeling him, and he's like, and he hit all the things. He's like, I didn't even hide my pistol. I just sat on the floor till the cops came.
Oh,
yeah. You've heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it before. Yeah. And like Haley will turn it, we'll get to the next song. She's like, I do like that song. I'm like, that's just murder.
Yeah, she's like, why wouldn't you beat up somebody for me, Gavin? I don't even know who it is. I literally was the first time I heard it, but I got all of this in one listen. Because at the end, he's like, and she'd come and see me from time to time. I'm serving 60 months, don't know when I'm getting out, but I can tell you that this place is sure better than where I sent him.
Yeah.
He's talking about murdering the guy.
Her line in the chorus is like, I don't know if he's an angel.
Yes.
Because angels don't do what he did.
That's it. Yes. Yeah. Just wait in the truck. Like,
wow.
It ticked all the country rules,
man.
Let
me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
That's not encouraging.
There's a song. I think I've gone. And this okay, you're going to get a rant from me.
Oh,
okay?
Good. I love it. Go.
So Wally's always on a soapbox. So can you pass me your soapbox, Wally?
Absolutely.
Let me stand on it for a minute.
Feel free to rant.
All right, here we go. The worst country song ever written was by Blake Shelton.
Okay. Is it not Don't Say Old Red? Don't Say Old Red.
No. Austin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It is all of that. Have you heard this song?
Yeah, probably. But...
Let me tell you the synopsis of the song. It is about a man who is missing this woman. So he keeps... No. They broke up.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's about this voicemail. Okay. So when she
he's hoping she'll call him.
Yeah. He calls her. Okay. And so if you're calling about the car, I sold it.
Yeah.
If it's Tuesday night, I'm bowling.
Yeah.
But here's the stupid part.
But if this is Austin.
But if this is Austin, I still love you.
Yes.
Let's say it's a guy that is like this guy is interviewing for a job, and his could-be boss is going to call, and he hears this voicemail. Sure. He'd be like, "This guy is psychotic. I'm not hiring him."
No.
Also,
no, he would go,
let's say,
I know that pain, sir. I know that pain. These women can do you wrong.
No. And then also think about this. So if someone calls and they're like, I just know this guy from somebody.
Sure.
And
you're trying to buy something
you're
on
like,
Facebook Marketplace.
He's not going to be home on Tuesday because he's bowling.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to go and I'm going to raid his home.
Right.
It's the dumbest idea for a song. Then it gets stupider.
Really?
At the end.
Is that a word?
Yes, it does here.
Yeah.
Then at the end, the girl calls.
Of course she
No,
did.
he calls her. I can't remember. Anyways, the line at the end, he brings it home.
Yeah.
Is what he's trying to do, and it's not. He goes, and by the way, boy, this is no machine you're talking to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't you tell?
Yeah.
This is Austin.
Yeah, see?
And I still love you.
Yeah,
like,
see?
come on.
Wait, is he Austin?
No.
Wait.
No,
No,
Austin
the
called
girl
him
is
back.
Austin,
Yeah.
but she's saying because he called her, and he thought he was talking to a voicemail, but it's not her. It's actually her. It's not the voicemail. It's her. And so she's saying, hey, it'd be like you calling Haley and you thinking you got her voicemail because she's talking,
Yeah.
but it ends up
Being
it's not her
her.
voicemail. It's actually her. And she's saying, hey, by the way, Caleb or Gavin,
Ooh, snap.
this is no machine you're talking to.
Yeah.
It's Haley.
My,
It'd be like that. And how dumb is that?
my buddy
I
used
can't
to-
stand
I've never
that
heard
song.
you-
My buddy,
talk
you
about
guys
that.
know him, Gabe. His voicemail was so great. You'd call him and ring. You go, hey, what's up? And you go, hey, dude, what's going on, man? It's good to talk. And then, anyway, and then he goes, old school. Leave a message. It got me the one time.
Let's
It's funny.
go back to the guy that we used to, that we work with, Steve.
Oh, his voicemails are
His
epic.
voicemail, everybody had to get on to him about it
Yeah.
because it starts, in a
world,
world
yeah.
where a guy doesn't answer his phone. It goes
It's so
on
long.
and on. You're like, I just want to tell you that
I can't
your
get into my
dog
computer.
died.
I need my passwords. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. But anyways, all that to say, I think country music is getting cornier.
Yeah,
They
it is.
don't make it like it used to. Over the weekend, I listened to 90s country. It was amazing. That's where it's at. There's the sweet spot. 80s and 90s country is where it's at. But once you start going into the 2000s,
bro country.
it gets broken. Then we got Jason Aldean, Georgia
and all the
Borderline.
rapping stuff now,
yes,
too.
like, please.
my favorite thing.
No.
Is it?
I love modern country.
And also, too, all these country women,
Yeah.
you can't tell them apart.
No.
They're all blonde
That's
with
very true.
long extensions,
Yeah.
wearing cowboy hats and short shorts.
Yeah, I don't know
Come
who's who
on.
anymore.
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I get it. Like there was some weird song too before that other one that I heard, and I was like, oh, it was a play on words. Country's big about plays on words. They love turning a phrase and turning that into the whole hook of the song and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, this one feels forced, But
To me, and also too, I read that Morgan Wallen guy.
oh yeah,
He put out an album recently and had 36 songs on it. All 36 are on Billboard 100.
oh my god,
Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
the only
he's
person that
insane.
was able to do that was Drake at 27 songs.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But Morgan
yeah.
Wallen outdid that.
I'll tell you, when you cancel somebody, you empower them a lot
Yeah, but
of
usually it
times.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Usually, once you're canceled, you're canceled.
Yeah,
but
well,
he
it's changing.
came back.
It is changing. I think now there was a time, cancel culture killed you, and now cancel culture can propel
It's like,
you.
well, they're starting to learn if we cancel everybody,
Yeah.
no one's going to be
Oh,
around.
I would love to get canceled. Like that'd be so great. That'd be so great for our career. If someone canceled us, great, go nuts. Like I've told people before, like they've called to complain about something. I'm like, here's my boss's email. Go crazy. Get me removed. If you think you can, go for it. Like I've challenged people to try to get me fired. Yeah, but that was back in the day. I don't do that as much anymore. Because I need the money. No, I'm trying to retire here. Anyway, so that's it for me. I got this other thing on Putin, but I don't care. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Do you want me to? Do we have time to go over my story?
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, wow, we've been 26 minutes.
Well, Ted Lasso, the show. Is that what it's called? Ted
Yeah,
Lasso? Yeah. So anyways, the cast of the show, they're going to be meeting with President Biden and going to be talking about the importance of mental health. The reason that the cast is going is because people have claimed that the show has inspired them with their universal themes around optimism, kindness, determination, and to just believe. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, it's like the show. The disclaimer on the show is like, yes, it has all of that, but it also has one character where every other word is the F word.
Yep.
And it has a lot of stuff in it that you're like, oh, I don't know about that. So you have to you.
Who
it's
brings
not
the
for everybody.
positivity?
Ted. He's like he's the fish out of water,
And then
so
there's a
he's the
trickle-down
super
effect.
positive guy. Yeah, and so he always has like the spin on things.
So really, he's the one that's responsible.
Yeah, I mean it's there are moments where it's really cute and endearing. And then there's other things that you're like, oh, I shouldn't laugh at that, so.
But season 2 did dive into mental health, too.
They did, with him,
very
ironically.
big, where you took the fun, loving, positive character and gave him, like, anxiety.
Yeah.
And that was a twist that they did, I think, a good job of.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
They put a good spin on that being a good conversation to have.
And like his marriage falling apart, because you think he's the happiest guy in the world, and so his marriage has to be great as well. Betty Rock's dying.
I'm dying. I've talked too much.
That's okay. But that's not the case. Like I do like that it has chinks in the armor, and it's more based in reality than that. Because I mean, how many of us do that? We hide our mess behind positivity or what have you. So they're meeting with Biden. Why? Just because of.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you did.
God.
Oh, that was gross. Stop it, Rock. See, this is the thing. This is where Betty drives me nuts. I love her to death.
I didn't know it was coming.
I know, but you would be so all over me. You would be appalled and like yelling at me right now about how gross I am.
No, because you are so dramatic about yours.
That wasn't dramatic.
No, it was just like.
You're like, I got it. There's my phlegm.
No, you're so dramatic about yours. You're like,
yeah. See, you're
like you're gonna throw up.
You're such
or
a
something.
hypocrite because you are, because I don't get bent out of shape about it. I'm like, I understand it. It's what it is.
No.
Yeah. See, didn't I just handle that like that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But I'm going to film you. The next time you get a bad cold, I'm going to show everyone how much of a drama king you are.
Okay.
Ew,
see, look, see.
You did that on purpose.
I did. That's right, to make my point. And what's the first thing you did? Ew.
Because
see?
it's nasty.
Yeah, I know. And what you did
You
was
did it on purpose.
I did.
That was my accident.
I know, but the point is, it's the same reaction.
You're getting my throat hurt.
I know.
You're mean.
Okay.
Oh, Betty's poor.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate you, coming in and
oh my gosh!
I'm sorry.
That to Gavin
Send
because you
this
sit
off.
on the same side.
I have to wipe down this whole studio
I know.
afterwards.
All right, that's gonna do it for your Aftercast today, and thanks for being a potty.